furries know how to party. That's all I really gotta say. People look at us and they're like, oh, what a bunch of losers, you know. They probably just sit inside all day and jerk off to furry porn or looking at images of fuzzy animals. You know, they don't know how to get down. Furries know how to party. Don't get it twisted, okay?
Help somebody!
Some topics are hard to approach.
They don't know really what a furry is.
Either the subjects are inaccessible,
Reasons I am better than you at Furry.
or people are uncomfortable discussing them. So we found those subjects in person, rented a space in Los Angeles, and invited our audience and strangers to come in and ask them anything.
Hi. I'm Bo, and I'm a fursuit maker in the furry fandom, and I'm here to answer questions about the furry community.
I'm sorry, I just see the foot. I got scared. Man, I have a ton of questions, but where did it start? Like, how old were you, I guess, when you found out? Like, you looked at Tony the Tiger and you were like, you know what? Like, where did it start?
Dang,
What was it?
Tony the Tiger kind of thick. I don't know. I think I was like 12. I was just browsing YouTube and I saw a bunch of furries dancing and I was like, dang, I want one of those. And so I made one and I just haven't stopped ever since.
Oh, okay. You just made it. It wasn't like...
Yeah, and now I do it for a living.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, get to the bag, I guess.
Bag secured.
How is it your job? Like, what do you do exactly?
Well, I make fursuits on a commission basis, and sometimes I just recently made one to sell, which is the one that I'm holding right now.
My only context around what furries are is from like a CSI episode where there was like furries having kind of like a furry orgy, and then one of them gets hit by a car. But so it's kind of negative and it's strictly sexual. So I guess my first question is being a furry strictly a sexual thing?
Absolutely not. That is by far the most annoying misconception that everyone always say, is it sexual? Is it a kink? Is it a fetish?
Sexual
Fetish.
No, but of course there are people who are in it and do that stuff, and that's perfectly fine. People can do whatever they want. People can enjoy themselves. But on a base level, it's just about art, it's just about costumes, and it's just about being yourself.
What would you say is like the worst criticism, I'll say, that you've probably gotten for like your hobby?
The most irking thing is when people just kind of disregard all of the creative individuals and talented individuals that make this art, make these costumes, and make everything, and just kind of chalk it up to all being a sexual thing. It's like, it's really unfair to say that it's a sexual thing in its entirety, but unfortunately that's how it gets portrayed very often in the media.
How does your family feel about you being a furry?
My family is very supportive. They've taken me to conventions. They were actually the ones to tell me to start making costumes as a young child. And that they're pretty much what enabled me to get into it and to continue doing this.
Love that, okay.
Is it mostly just like a form of like creative expression, or is there something deeper going on, like with your interest in the
I
costumes?
think it's probably on lines of both, because as much as it is an amazing way to express yourself, people who have issues with mental health find particular comfort in the furry fandom because it's a little bit more, just something's very appealing to it, like the bright colors, the soft fabrics. It's comforting. I've kind of come out of my shell a little bit in different aspects and have gained confidence in myself through doing this. You can be yourself without having people look at your face and judging you. Some people are really self-conscious. Some people are, who knows, they could be going through some stuff. It's so different for every single person, but I feel like a lot of people do just feel really comfortable putting on a costume and expressing themselves and performing, especially in a costume, because maybe they want to perform and they don't feel like they can do so unless they're covering themselves.
I know there's different types of, from what I know, furries. There's like the spiritual aspect and there's also the cosplay aspect. So I just want to hear like what's the main difference and what do you think about both of those different types? just in your opinion?
I would say that those are not the two types, for one.
Okay.
And I would also say that there are many types, a lot of which like we would be here all day talking about it because it's based on such a loose concept. I mean, basically all being a furry means is being into anthropomorphic animals, which is animals with human traits. The spiritual side isn't really, that wouldn't be considered a furry, that would be considered something completely else, which is an otherkin or a Therian. And sometimes otherkins and Therians are furries, but they're not the same thing, so I feel like that's a misconception that some people on the outside have.
For you to make it, I know there's like a lot of profit to be made. Does anybody see you as like a predator for the furry community, or like a capitalist, a furry capitalist?
Furry capitalism, capitalist furries rise up. No, I would say that it is a community that has a very large like provider, like business and then consumer basis. It really is like people are here to make money, people are here to spend money, but at the same time, that's not really what it's about. It's more so just, it's fun, but there's definitely money involved for a lot of people.
Okay.
So I'm guessing since you started off kind of young in the community, there are, you know, younger people as well in the furry community. What is it like for them, I guess, going through the different phases of the furry community?
I feel like everyone who starts being a furry from a very young age has like sort of this cringe phase where they just don't know how to interact with people. They're socially awkward. Like I'm still very socially awkward, but I've kind of come out of my shell a little bit and learned how to not be annoying online. Pretty much all I'd have to say for young furries is be yourself, be kind, don't steal art.
It was definitely insightful talking to you a little more about this. Thank you for your time.
No problem. It's nice talking to you too.
I commend you because, you know, it takes a lot of bravery and courage to be able to express yourself in a way like that.
Yeah, and the money helps. It really does enable a lot of young artists, a lot of just young people in general, old people, no matter who you are, to express, to create, to better their craft, to build costumes, to draw, to animate, to dance. It just inspires people to do all these different things that they normally wouldn't do, like make music. There are a bunch of furry DJs. Every single medium of art imaginable is in this fandom, and that's part of why it's so great. No one should feel shame for being a furry, even if you don't make anything, even if you just wear a costume and just enjoy it. You can do whatever you want and be happy, and people should respect that.